Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. From Nostalgia here, and I'm standing here with the Mrs. character. She's still on strike. She won't come back to the game, despite somebody actually reaching out to us. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But I'm going to just want to get into the core of the video right now. There was a mysterious stranger wandering around in here, and the devs told everybody, hey, come to High Pass. And of course, people were saying, there's going to be the luck and this and that. And then some people got pissed off. It's the same old EQOA rumor mill you guys remember back in the day. You know how people would make things up and just to troll the server. It's good to see that culture still lives on, actually. But there was a ton of people here, more than there are now. And I've noticed that High Pass has been booming, man. Like, you go to Freeport, it's kind of a ghost town. And I think that's because there's a werehunter roaming around outside. And he's roaming outside of the bounds that I remember. And not for nothing, somebody got him to a point where he was running. And, he was going outside of his path, so it looks like people are able to troll. I probably shouldn't even tell people this because then now it's going to be a thing definitely. But if you get him down to low health, he runs around. Devs, you might want to look into that because people are exploiting that. Or maybe somebody who just didn't want to F up their faction and they just whooped them a little bit and ran away. Nah, somebody's trolling. Somebody's trolling. Like the time somebody grabbed one of these bastards and pulled him into Darver Manor and I died back in like 2004 and I'll never forget it. I have no idea how they got him out there. Maybe you guys can tell me down in the comments section. Speaking of the comments, please get down there and leave one. It helps with the algorithm. Smash the like button. But yeah, he was just running around. You know how they do, like this, real slow. And it caused him to go outside of the boundaries of where he's supposed to roam. And if you're standing on the rock, guess what? You're getting squished. So people hang out here more. Look at these handsome devils over here. Everybody's been smashing that 49 quest, man. I'm a freaking noob. You know, I gotta tell you, it's a little bit of a pain in the butt trying to get quests done in this game while you're recording video. You know, you guys know how the quests are. They're kind of a drag. Trying to record it is that much more difficult. Anyway, to the point of this video is there was a guy here and he was up to something. Let's take a look at something real quick. If you guys remember last week, working on the Highborn library lore from XPly. So something's going on. I don't know if that was something that was during a live or if it's brand new, but these guys are busy over here, man. You know, I gotta give them respect for that. They work their butts off. And while I don't agree with everything, right, I really wish we could box again. And somebody's always whooping this guy. I really wish that we could box again and not have to worry about wares all over the dang place. It used to be you could use remove illusion and then quickly poof. Yeah, but it seems like that doesn't really work anymore. Anyways. There was a historian, y'all. I'm getting sidetracked. Doesn't help that they're murdering this guy over here. Rezer is killing the treasure hunter. But yeah, he's gone. He's not here anymore. I don't know why. It was just a limited time thing. Maybe they were just testing it out for now. But the devs did call everybody out to come take a look at it, and I did. I was already standing over here. But I had a chance to read from it before he disappeared, so let's take a look at that right now. So you guys know how I'll do that thing where I press record, only it's not recording, and it actually saves the recording, and it doesn't record anything, and I waste minutes of my life and everybody's time. So that happened again. So I recreated Cardol. I think his name is Cardol. And I'm going to do a reenactment of what Cardol told y'all to do, okay? So bear with me. I'm not exactly good at this sort of thing, but here we go. Hail, adventurer! You should come out here and read this book that's in the library, but it's very naughty, so don't tell anybody that I told you to come read the book because my boss is out here somewhere and they don't want me to tell you to read the book, so you should come out here and not read the book. So yeah, that's interesting, huh? I don't know if I'm going to be able to go out to Highborn since there's the equivalent of rampaging rhinoceroses everywhere that want to kick my ass. I stole that comment from one of my subs, by the way. But yeah, that's what it's like. You roam around and then boom, something that's much more powerful than you kicks your ass. So going out to Highborn, I don't know if I'm willing to make that commitment right now. I might just bite the bullet and do it anyway, because if I come back here, I don't know if I'm going to continue with Wolf. I noticed there's still wares on the server, but most people I see running around now are not wares, and well, that's to their benefit. There's your spiritual slayer, kitty, sweetheart. See? You want to come back to EQA. I know you don't like what the devs are doing, right? I understand. Okay? But look, your cat is here. And Rezer's rocking the cat. Look, you could have 2 spears, right? You can have a pretty blue robe and chain boots. I mean, the head's not, it doesn't match, but it works. They're rocking it. It looks pretty good. Anyway, please come back so we can be amongst our friends like Ruse and El Buddha. I think El Buddha is actually his alt. Ruse sent me a message, guys. I was looking over at the CRT. That's why I came back over here and saw everything transpire the way that it did, by the way. I have Ruse to thank for that. But yeah, he was just like, hey, man, what's going on? And careful, Nako. You don't want to get banned from the Discord forever. No, I'm never going to let that go because it's so stupid. Anyway, I look over to the CRT, and there's a person I haven't seen in years, Ruse. Many of you know about his guild, the Sword of the Brotherhood of the Sword. I keep wanting to say Brotherhood of Steel, and so does the Missus. Fallout has polluted our brains over the years. But anyway, Brotherhood of the Sword. Talk about an epic guild. I think I've told you guys this story before. Actually, I'm sure I have, but many of you probably haven't heard it. But there was a guy named El Buddha, and this is going to get a little degenerate, all right? This was years ago. I had an ounce of weed in front of me, okay? I had just gotten paid, and I was looking at a weekend of EQOA. And I'm going through, breaking it up, taking all the seeds out, because back then all you could get was crap, right? And there's this guy named El Buddha, and it was right outside of Kino, so I'm going to take you guys over there to set the scene. Now, this isn't exactly where I was standing. I was standing somewhere over here, yonder. But you know what I mean? I'm not really feeling going over there. Something tells me that there's going to be a werehunter that wasn't there when I left, and it's going to kill me. I'll just be standing there, and then all of a sudden, yeah, see? Who's Felicia Potterson? Who are you? Are you a werehunter? You need to be put on a map, damn it. Somebody needs to get on that. Somebody make the Hentai Werehunter map so we can avoid these scrubs, okay? Because I was over there, and she's messing with my story, y'all. You can't get the exact visuals that I had back then. Anyway, El Buddha comes up to me, and naturally, I'm breaking up all this bud in front of me. I'm like, hey, man. And we just, start talking about stoner stuff, and we bonded. And I gave him $5,000 to start a guild. And back in the day, everybody had to be in a group. And then you would take the $5,000 and you could start it. And of course, most people would leave the guild after that. They just needed you to sign their little charter or whatever. And years would go by. I was in Shades of Grey, and I was in a Stone Hearts. I think there was one other. No, those were the only 2 guilds I was in. Both of them kind of broke up, right? And before I left the server, and all the crazy raiding started going on that the Missus was into mostly, not myself, we linked back up with them. So I actually ended up in the guild that I helped to fund, unless it was a different guild that he started and he disbanded it and made a new one. You're making me kind of nervous. You're making me nervous. Anyway, so I actually ended up in the guild that I footed the bill for in the beginning and didn't know it for like 9 years that had happened. How funny is that? Things just seem to come around in life. It's like a circle. But anyway, I've been wanting to get back into this game. There's a lot of people that I talk to because I have a ton of people come up to me. I'll glance over at the CRT and I'll see them talking, and I'm like, hey, I don't have a keyboard, man. I'm having to do this junk here. Where, fortunately, I got pretty quick at it because this is how I played the game for the first 3 months back in the day. So I'll respond to them, and but yeah, if I don't respond to you, I'm not trying to ignore you guys. I'm not being like an elitist jerk or something like that. I respond to everybody as long as they're not being, a douche or something to me. But anyways, yeah, Brotherhood of the Sword Part 2. That could be a thing. That would be awesome, right? really, the missus and I are really waiting for EQA EMU. That's where I want to start over fresh over there, and just that's how I want to do my thing. But if I can drag her back here, kicking and screaming, we might come back. I don't know if I'm going to play on Wolf. We might start over, actually. I might make a halfling druid just for, I like the Wii races. They're kind of funny. That's why people are like, how come you're playing a freaking female gnome mage on EQOA or, World of Warcraft? Because it's funny. That's why. And because they're freaking adorable. There's a tiny little mage running around nuking everybody's face off with a pet, kicking everybody's ass. But yeah, I've been playing Ascension WoW on Bronzebeard. I'm having a lot of fun of it. Speaking of gnome mage, you can actually make a gnome priest over there. I did that as well. Of course, it's a female gnome. Stay away from me. Stay away from me. They're trying to blow my shit up, man. I know it. I don't know. Guard Lando looks like he's pretty cool. He looks like he's on the level. That Potterson chick, though, I don't know, man. It's going to be like that episode of South Park, Make Love Not Warcraft, where Randy's like, what?
The Bloodfish at Jared's Landing.
Looks like that guy just killed you.
What? Why? Why?
Why? It makes no fucking sense. Fuck it. Alright, anyway. But, yeah, I miss this game. I do. There's something about it. It's just... It's way more laid back than anything I've ever played. It's the perfect mix of hardcore and chill. It's not too easy, right? At least on the default setting. And this server, it's like freaking hard mode. But it's got that chill vibe to it. There's only 10 abilities, which makes it a little bit more of a pain in the ass that you have to use Remove Illusion and then Evac to get away from hunters. Again, I have to test that. I haven't had the balls to do it again. But anyway, it's nice because you're not staring at like 40 different abilities with a huge rotation of things you have to remember. It's just nice and chill. You get into a group, you kill stuff. I hate the quests over here, really. I always have. I do prefer the questing system from World of Warcraft. I know that's blasphemy around here. People are like, oh, he did not say that. There's something really cool about going into an area. You do a bunch of quests, you get all the lore, everything that's going on, right? What the king and queen are going up to, and Kinos, for example, and the fact that their son was thrown in prison, and maybe you have to break him out, and by the end you find out a little bit about Nathaniel Marr and how inspirational he was in the foundation of the city, or whatever. I'm just making shit up, okay? That might actually be kind of accurate. But anyways, I like that. You got all these different zones, you do the quests quickly, it's not, yeah, you run back and forth a lot, especially in Classic. But in this game, holy crap, you're coaching here, you're coaching there. At first, it starts off, it's not too bad. But I was actually watching the devs talk about it from the LFG podcast years ago. And they said, yeah, every quest, as they go up in levels, had to add a step. So that's why it got really crazy by the time you reached your 47. You're like, no, somebody just killed me. I can't believe I got to run back there again, dude. Why didn't they just tell me to take 200 tuner out of the bank? Or why didn't they tell me to get that item while I was already over there? Nowadays, we have, the luxury of guides and stuff like that. But it's still a pain in the ass doing quests over here. I just like to grind with my boys in a camp, right? I just want to kill stuff. That's it. I want to level up. So, and doing that right now with hunters everywhere is a major pain in my ass. It just is. And you know what? I'll tell you what. We're going to go see... I'm going to regret this. I know it. We're going to go see if I can get out of the form in time so I don't get attacked. All right? Let's buff up real quick, though. We don't want to be foolish about this, right? We want to give ourselves a fighting chance. So I want to get in the wolf form. Actually, I should probably get in the... Well, it doesn't matter. They remove your form. Dumbass. Come on, man. Anyway, I want to see if I can get out of it, because you could do it. Yes, aha. Did I pop it too soon? Oh, I did it just in time. Am I good? Am I good? Now, I had to preemptively do that. I am good. Now, you notice I hit it as soon as she hit it. I was worried it wasn't going to come off in time. But I got away from the bitch. I got away from her. I knew she was not to be trusted. It's always the unassuming girl walking the road that you think, she's just a pushover. Nope. And she's roaming right where I was going to tell that story. Okay, anyway, let's see. Because I'm told you have to do it as soon as they talk. You don't have time to wait. Is she going to leave me alone now? Is there like a timer on it? So she leaves you alone for a set time once you change back. I don't know how long. Let's coach out of here and come back and see what happens. I hope you guys appreciate me being a guinea pig for you. Because I'm really, you know what it is? It's my friggin' pride. It's like, no, you can't let these things push you out of town, all right? You can't let anybody ever push you out of your hometown. This is my game, damn it. I want to come back, and I want to beat the odds. I want to get up to the current cap. I want my frickin' tree form. I'm not playing. You hear me, Mrs. Nostalgia? I'm not playing, literally. That's the problem. I want to get back into this. All right, so we're going to go back, and we're going to see if she's trying to kill us now. Speed up time. Marty McFly style. All right, now let's see. Whoops. Where'd it go? Duh. All right. So I've been gone for a little while. She's still not sweating me, y'all. So that's cool. I don't know how long that lasts, though. I don't know if we can get from the devs down below. If any of y'all watch my videos, very, very doubtful. Let me know what the timer is on that. I think we just need some information on these guys. How can we avoid them? Because like I said, I've done this before, and it wasn't immediately. I did wipe it away, but I still got attacked. And then one time I got teleported to a tower. So it's iffy. I don't know what's going on. If half the time they kill you or teleport you, why do they teleport you? Is there a rhyme or reason? But yeah, anyways, this video's gone on way too long. Me just yammering on about old memories and whatnot. But I have the sneaking suspicion that's why a lot of you subscribe here. Make sure you whoop the stable boy now and then for me, guys, okay? I think you still kill him. Don't do that. It's going to hurt your faction probably. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, I want to see you get down in the comment section. Let me know about it. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new here. God bless. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next video.
Nostalgia. It's delicate.